If you're here, chances are you're either dreaming about starting a photography business, you've already started one and want more bookings, or trying to figure out how to grow this thing while also balancing motherhood in real life. This is exactly why I created this podcast. Because when I started photography over 6 years ago, I had no clue what I was doing. I was YouTubing everything. YouTube was my source of education. I figured out people are making this work. Why can I? I could do this. And I hit the ground running. Nobody really talks about the business side of photography, like actually how to find clients. How do you charge people? How do you edit? How do you stop comparing yourself to other photographers who seem years ahead of you? Well, ding, ding, ding. They are. That's the comparison trap. Nowadays, you have access to social media and all the photography mentors who's always selling a course. And that was another reason why I wanted to start this photography podcast. Just like how YouTube was so instrumental to my growth in my beginning and free information, I just feel like nowadays in 2026, everyone is pitching a course, pitching a subscription, pitching some type of form of fee, which I get if that's your educational business. Eventually you do need to charge, but the free thoughts and free tips, that realm is out the window and everybody has to put a price tag on something. So this is my contribution. My ministry would be helping you start your photography business or pivot or give you different ideas that you probably never thought of. I spent so much time figuring out things the hard way and I wanted to just make it a little easier. So being 6 years into this photography business, the reality of building a business, a lot of people don't talk about. It'd be burnout, the imposter syndrome that never goes away, charging too little, mom guilt, and then trying to grow on Instagram, trying to grow your business, honestly, and then of life. So going back to how do you actually get clients? Because nobody really talks about this. They still don't talk about it. I thought is you need a perfect website, expensive gear, large amount of followers, a good portfolio, and definitely something unique, like a unique editing style to really put yourself out there. But really the truth is when people are booking a family photographers, they're not analyzing your work the way photographers do. They're not going through your portfolio saying, oh, that picture, that composition looks a little different. That hue of blue is not the same as the other picture. What they really are asking is, do I trust this person? Do I like their vibe? Can they make it easy for me? Do I think they'll be good with my family? Grumpy dads or shy dads, I would say. Maybe they're not grumpy, they're just shy. Your kids, that is what really matters when people are booking family photographers. And honestly, the fastest way to start booking clients is simply becoming visibly locally. Let's say this again. One of the fastest ways to start booking clients is simply becoming visible locally. I cannot emphasize this enough. You need to show your presence locally. I learned this the hard way. So when I moved here, I moved in 2022, relocated from Alabama. I started marketing to Atlanta, and that was great. But Atlanta, compared to Molina, Georgia, huge market shock. Different markets, different people. I am honestly currently learning this right now because I have downsized from marketing to Atlanta to now West Central Georgia region is what I'm marketing now, within the 30-mile radius of my home. Search marketing has from Atlanta to, it's hard. Okay, that was a freaking ramble. We don't need a ramble. Yes, the fastest way to start booking clients is simply becoming more visible locally. So you have to be present in your town, in your city. I know, we're all introverts. And that's why we became photographers. It's a creative outlet. We're becoming the artists. But in hindsight, you are a small business and you need to show up in person, online, in conversations with friends and families that you have locally first. It's not viral. You're not going to be famous. You just have to be visible. A lot of the early bookings came from Facebook groups, word of mouth, posting constantly online, your friends sharing your work, mini sessions or free sessions, and those sessions will bring in more clients. Honestly, just talking about your photography all the time. I know it's weird. We don't want to talk about ourselves. I don't want to talk about myself. I don't want to talk about my business. Tagging local vendors, small businesses, schools, parks, that helps. The geotag in your Instagram and Facebook, so helpful. I would tag your local businesses because if you like those local businesses and that's the type of clientele you like or you serve, you'll get in front of those families. COVID 2020 did something to everybody socially. So anyways, everyone's afraid to put themselves out there. If nobody knows you exist, nobody could hire you. People underestimate how powerful referrals are in family photography. Moms talk. There's definitely a mom clique, a mom tribe. Hello. If one mom has a good experience with you, she'll tell everybody, vice versa. That's why client experience matters so much, even early on. This might look like answering inquiries quickly, obviously being kind, helping people feel comfortable, reassuring them they're doing a good job, even though they're not. Hello, I'm so awkward in front of the photos and being in front of a camera. So then just making the process easy. So website or social, inquiring. So it's a funnel. So once they are interested in your work, communicating, and the booking process. At the end of the day, people are going to remember how you make them feel way more than whether your whites were perfectly balanced. And another thing I wish I knew earlier, you do not need to wait until your work is perfect to start charging. That's my point number 2. Point number 2 is please start charging. You don't need to wait until your work is perfect to start charging. You as an artist are going to evolve over the years. You need to charge. You need to charge more than $75 a session, not pay as you can. We're not doing that. It's not a charity. You're running a business. So I'm not going to go into the cost of doing your business, any of that. Maybe further down the episodes, I will get more into detail. You need to charge, obviously, in consideration of your gear, your editing time, your communication, your post workflow. So I'm not saying to copy other local photographers. I think you need to charge anywhere between $150 and up from the get-go. I'm going to say it. Pay as you can, don't work. Another note, do not charge for a model call. I have seen so many new business mentors, photography mentors, charging for a model call. No, I'm going to say that's wrong. They're modeling for you to use their face for your images. You obviously are the photographer and you're going to have the full copyright of it. But why are we charging that? I do not care. Do not give it as a discounted session. You could say, I need a model call. You get 10 free images. And if you want to add some type of profit in this model call, I don't even want to go there because I'm just so against it. After 10 images, you could purchase X amount per image. Make it affordable because 10 out of 10, that model call cannot afford your prices. Bad taste in my mouth, bad for the industry. It has to be a mutual exchange. If you wait until you're fully confident, you'll probably will wait forever. I'm 6 years in my photography career, and I still have moments where I want to quit. That's normal. You're doing business and artistry at the same time. It's a great cluster of emotions. Confidence comes from just doing it. From awkward sessions, you're going to have awkward sessions till you retire. It's going to be from learning, you're going to be messing up, figuring things out in real time. It's literally how everybody starts. And honestly, some of my earliest sessions make me cringe now. We don't want to talk about it. We could talk about it. So yeah, my earlier sessions, family sessions, super cringe. I still have those archive photos. And even my super early wedding client, we can't. It made me become a better photographer today. Something I'm constantly telling my son. You're never going to get good at something if you just do it once or twice. You got to keep going. And you're going to fall down. And what do? You get back up. Same thing that we were told as kids is the same principle as starting a business. You got to keep going. If you're in that season where you're trying to get your first few clients, I just want you to focus on these things. Show up consistently, telling people what you do and who you do it for, serving people well, be kind. And if there's not a kind person, you are that person. And not overcomplicate anything. Serve people well. You don't need a massive audience to build a successful photography business. I have not even 1,000 followers, and success is defined differently. So you have to realize what is important to you. You just need people to trust you. And trust is built through consistency, not perfection. My 3 main points I want to re-emphasize. Charge $150 and up minimum. I don't care if you just started. We're not doing pay as you can or $75. We're not doing that. $150 and you go from there. You don't have to give them all the images either. So $150 for 20 images, perfect. Once you get that under your belt and more bookings, people will gain that trust, right? Number 2, market locally. There is a lot of gurus, mentors, white noise out there. I'm one of them, white noise. Market locally. And then if you want to travel and hit the bigger cities in your state, go. But market locally by tagging local businesses, vendors, like your hairstylist that you go to that you love. Boom. They appreciate it. It's going to bring business to them, top of mind, and vice versa for you, because the more you know about your community, the more you're going to build in trust. So these families will know, okay, well, she's not an hour away. She's actually right there in the backyard of my town. The last point, which is very important, is your client experience. If we're charging at least $150 per session, you need to have a client experience. You don't need a CRM. You don't need a fancy website. Basic websites. And you don't need a CRM. You could do that through your managing emails, a free Gmail account. But by having a good client experience, by you responding quickly, you being kind, them being in front of your lens, making them feel comfortable, and then just going over the post session workflow, right? So staying in communication. Those are my 3 points of booking more clients. I hope that helps, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.